Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another agency tournament battle. That's right. I know a lot of y'all didn't expect this. I didn't even expect this. See, last week I posted a video, my return to Pokemon tournaments, where I posted my 3 Smogon World Cup games. Go check that out if you haven't already. Great 1-hour video. So those are my games for the pool stage. I ended up going 2-1. There were some good games, played pretty well, I was happy, and I thought that was the end of my tournament because I was part of the team US East. Now, we're a very strong team, but unfortunately this year, we had a lot of, J.R. Smith impersonators this year. It is what it is. So we unfortunately did not make it to the playoffs. In fact, we did so bad in the regular season that our team was told that if you even want to be part of this tournament next year, you need to win a tiebreaker best of 3 versus the other worst team in the tournament. So this was extremely shameful. So unfortunately for me, my team was like, yo, it's your turn to play again. I said I could do that. I could do that. So basically, it was this image. They hit the agency tower and they needed me to step in. I said, okay, we could do that. We could do that. So here we are, game 4. Just played this yesterday. So this is a tiebreaker. Fortunately, my teammate Nat, very, very powerful OU battler, already beat the other guy. So all I had to do was win this and then we're good. And if I lose, well, we still have my other friend, Star, who would have been our 3rd player. So if I lose this, then he'll just, wrap it up. So I was like, let's do this. Let's get right into it. My final game to save the United States of America. Yup. That's right. SEAL Team 6 couldn't figure this bitch out, so they just sent me. Let's get right into it. So I'm playing versus Mushfik98. He is representing Team Bangladesh. They are a newcomer to the World Cup of Pokemon. But, they did pretty good in the beginning of the season, and then they kind of fell off halfway, and they ended up the same place as my team, US East, now fighting to even be in the tournament next year. But that's a heroic honor, all right? So I knew he wasn't going to, be no slouch. I could tell from his team here that he, has some strong stuff, Gambit, Garganical, Great Tusk, and Amorous Turtle, which I do not consider a real Pokemon. So I was happy when I saw that because that shit is bad. But other than that, let's go into my own team. So CTC built me this team, obviously, because I only use what the Lord creates. And I told them, I said, yo, these guys on Team Bangladesh, they only really run offense from what I can see. And my opponent, he had always been using Gambit, Scizor, always used Valiant, that kind of thing. I, on the other hand, I had been using a good amount of different mons. If I go through my team builder right now, let's take a look, actually. So this is the team I used, Drizzy anti-offense. You'll see why in a second. But I had used this Mousetrez, this team I used once. I used this team, and then I used this team. So these 3 teams are what I use. So as you can see, I did definitely have some repeats. 2 Tusk, 1 Lando, 2 Aces. But with the team I brought for this final game, the tiebreaker game, I brought a team where 5 of the Pokemon I have not even used before. So the only mon I have used already from this is Moltres. The other 5 I haven't used. I have become a fan of the casual Dondozo as of late. Oh shit, I just realized the dimensions are off. 1 second. That's better. I've become a fan of the casual Dondozo as time has gone on. In Gen 9, I feel like when DLC first dropped back in June, everyone was like, fuck Dondozo, there's just too many strong Pokemon, it's not good. But it's still pretty good. A lot of people are running stuff like Booster Speed, Bulk Up Tusk late game, or just even regular setup sweepers like I have a Dragonite here, which we haven't even seen in a minute either. Sneasler, SD Valiant, all this stuff still gets fucked up by Dozo. This is still a great Pokemon, it's just that people have been rejecting it. So I knew a casual Dozo would be something cool. CTC cooked up this 6. He actually made 2 versions of this team. First off, before we go further into the team, please respect the nicknames. He put the Drizzy nicknames on because everybody knows that when I use the Drake nicknames, it's gonna be a schmix. It's gonna be a schmix. Like, no, but you can't stand up to me if I got the Drizzy nicknames. This has been a thing since 2015 when he gave me the very gorgeous Weavile with the nickname Over My Dead Lottie. See, a lot of y'all, you can't even begin to fathom what goes into these nicknames. Anyway, hold on, we're going Chrome. Come on now. Spin about Luke. Spin about you. Come on now, bro. Mr. Meowth, look. This is the offhand one. This is a Drake nickname, all right? Because, I made a move look. Hate sweeping alone because, Dragonite, he can't sweep alone. So we obviously have Dondozo and Mr., Meowth look, which is, female. Fire and Be Flyer. Come on, bro. Fire and Desire, Fire and Be Flyer. Please. Just absorb some of these nicknames. And then finally, Privileged Nappers because I hate a Privileged Napper. Now, that being said, there were 2 versions of this anti-offense team CTC made me because he was afraid that I might get too bored if the team is too fat. He knows that I'm, very stupid, and you know, I'd be getting bored if the shit is too long. So he made another version with Iron Valiant. Now this team, because of that Iron Valiant, I was thinking, dude, I should just bring this one. Iron Valiant for me is the best mod ever. And it was called Marvin's Broom. Come on, bro. Even the nicknames on this one are even better. Slack Now, Die Later, Plotline Bling, Cluckin' Problems, Spikes for what? Vest I Never like. A lot of you just don't get it, man. You think Pokemon is just about battling. No, nicknames matter a lot. In fact, I would wager a lot of my greatest wins are because the nickname put such a fear in the opponent's heart. But anyway, it was between these two teams. I tested out both. I was figuring that the Valiant version would be for sure the one I wanted to use more. But in testing, and I only played a few games on the ladder. Actually, no, I played like 30 on the ladder. I went 30-0, which was crazy because, I mean, it's not hard, first of all, because if you win 30 games in a row, you only end up in like 1700s max. But I wasn't purposefully trying to go 30-0. It just felt like this team was so damn easy to win with that I just randomly got 30-0. That's really how it felt when I used it. So I was like, dude, this team is very good. Meowscarada is an underrated Pokemon, man. This shit is UU right now, which, no, that's not forgivable. This is a very good Pokemon. Knockoff, Flower Trick, U-Turn, Taunt, Terra, Dark for the extra power buff. CTC had Meow because currently Meow sits at a great speed tier. A lot of people are spamming Cinderace to take advantage of spikes and whatnot. Meow being faster than that is a big deal. Knockoff will always be a very hot commodity in this metagame, so being able to have a Pokemon with it and it's this fast is great. I really like the fast taunt as well. People think, oh, you know, there's Zapdos and Moltres running around. You can't use Meowscarada, but you can always just taunt the shit too. And if you do knock it off and you don't get statused, well, you're in a really good spot. It is a little difficult when they do have these Pokemon. I'm not going to act like, oh, just don't get staticked or flame bodied, because the unfortunate reality is it does happen sometimes. But you can always run Terra Fire over Dark as well, which will let you beat Moltres, and you can also stay in on Cinderace that way if you wanted to taunt its court change. But yeah, Meowscarada plus D-Knight. D-Knight is another Pokemon that I haven't even used since pre-home, but D-Knight does what it always does, which is check offense. And like I said, my opponent and Team Bangladesh in general had been using a lot of offensive stuff. They use a lot of shit like Iron Moth, like Sandy Shocks, shit like that. Just ran like Sandy Shocks, for example, I wasn't worried about at all because I got a Ting-Lu. Same with Moth, but I knew if I ran into any of those Pokemon, it would be really nice to have extreme speed in the back. Plus, Ting-Lu in general is just very frustrating for a lot of offensive Pokemon. So I like this balance. It looked very solid. Moltres is a Pokemon I don't need any convincing of. I already used it in my third game, so I knew bringing it again would be completely fine. When you have U-Turn on Moltres, it's extremely hard to take advantage of it all the time. So that being said, that is the breakdown of the team. The other version, like I said, was just Booster Valiant plus Spikes Garchomp, a little more defensive, but I like the Meowscarada version a lot more. So with that extremely long introduction, sorry, that shit was long, but I figured it's my last game for real. I might as well break down the team in a decent, you know, depth. All right, let's get into it. So got my shit. We look at his team. It's pretty standard for the most part, except for Enamorous Turtle, which you don't see too much. When I saw the matchup, I was like, okay, this looks pretty damn straightforward to me. I know my Dragonite is not the most useful Pokemon here, just because Amoonguss is going to be able to check it. What's it called? Thingy. Cinderace has Wisp. Salt in general is annoying. If I had Encore, it would have been a different story. But because I'm Roost, I'm like, okay, Dragonite will definitely have more of a defensive role this game. I see that Dozo is going to be good for checking 3 Pokemon. Ace, Gambit, and Tusk if I don't get knocked off. So I know Dozo's pretty decent. And I was looking at it, I was like, Meow's okay. I mean, it can knock Amoonguss, but it's pretty fucking walled by Amoonguss. I'm not banded, so you really don't do anything. And I'm not Protean either, so those U-turns don't really sting. And then on my gold is defensive Nasty Plot Terra Fairy. And so I was thinking, looking at his team, once I Nasty Plot with my gold, late game, I should just be able to sweep him clean. Even if he is Water Salt, I should be, because I'm Covert Cloak on this, which is amazing, because their team, Bangladesh, had not even really brought Garg this entire tour. I think they brought 1 Garg the entire tournament. But still, this team needs a Covert Golden Go. Otherwise, Salt is a little bit annoying. I mean, I can always get up all the hazards on Salt, knock it off with Meow and that kind of thing, but you need a sturdy switch in. Salt Cure is not a balanced move. So Cloak on Gold was a really good fix for that. But looking at the matchup, I was thinking, okay, I don't think there's anything for me to really worry about too much. Be smart around Salt Cure. Don't let random shit take Will-O-Wisp for no reason. Like, don't let Lou get burned for no reason by Ace and stuff like that. You have Moltres, so I was telling myself that. And then King Gambit, I wasn't really worried about because, of course, I have the full Dozo. So really, it was just be careful of Knock plus Stealth Rock Tusk. That's going to be more frustrating because once Moltres gets knocked, then it's very hard for me to defensively check Ace anymore. And then I could definitely lose. So that was what I was thinking the whole game. Don't let Tusk knock you off, and don't let Rocks go up against me without me getting them up myself. My team is not that weak to rocks. I have 4 heavy-duty boots, Mons, which was a genius team building style by CTC. This team has no removal. I try to always run removal, but if you have 4 Mons that are immune, then it really doesn't matter, you know, hazards. So I've used 2 Great Tusks, 1 Lando, 1 Ting Lu. Had a pretty diverse ground types, hazard setters, all that stuff. Like I said, most of these Mons is the first time I used them, like gold. Even in this tournament, I didn't really use much Gambit. I only used 1 Gambit, and that's the game I lost. Got fucking hacks to shit. Same with Excalibur. I still like Gambit a lot, but in tournament, like I don't really care to use it like that. And then of course Meow is UU, so we had to show some respect. What is this? Leads off with Amoonguss as I lead off with Moltres. Moltres is the easiest lead possible for me because it beats every single Pokemon except for Salt. A hard switch into Golden Go. The reason I did not U-turn is because if he was red card, I am not going to want to U-turn out and then have his red card send me into something that I don't want to get slept. Like if I get U-turned into my Ting Lu or some shit like that and get spored immediately, that would be terrible. Or what if I U-turn and red card into a Meowscarada and for some reason he fucking Sludge Bomb? Point is, there's no reason for me to U-turn there and just get red carded into a shitty situation. So he brings in Garg on my gold as I go right for the nasty plot. He probably didn't want to Terra immediately. Right there I was thinking, okay, if he doesn't Terra there, maybe he's not Terra Water, or he didn't want to take an immediate trick. He's probably just scouting me out regardless. Him bringing in the ace makes me think, okay, this is likely just a Blaze defensive ace if he brings this in on me right off the bat. So I go into Lu here. I know he's going to Pyro Ball as opposed to Will-O-Wisp because I'm a +2 gold. You're not going to fucking Wisp. You're going to just Pyro Ball, or even you'd U-turn if you want to make that much of a try-hard play. But I was very confident Pyro Ball is coming out here. He misses Pyro Ball as I go into this, and then I bring in Moltres afterwards knowing that the Wisp is coming out. So now we've confirmed that this is defensive ace. Now, I could have gone Moltres hard on Pyro Ball, taking like 20%, but the reason I did what I did this way is just to kind of frustrate him. Like that's really all I was thinking. I knew Wisp isn't coming, so I was like, why not go Ting Lu? Pyro Ball is only going to do 20%. After lefties, that shit does like 13%, so I'm not worried about the real damage it does. Maybe it does 20. Maybe it does like 25. The point is, I know Wisp isn't coming there, so me making that play was simply for him to be like, fuck, what if I Wisp, or what if I U-turn? Now I can be annoying here. He goes into Garg. I'm just going to go for a U-turn because the best thing I can do to ace is Flamethrower for 20 or U-turn for 10. So might as well just U-turn and continue the Vortex. Now I finally have the free knockoff with my Meowscarada. And as you can see, he doesn't really have anything besides Amoonguss to continuously check this. Nobody else wants to get knocked off. If Garganacl loses its leftovers, we know that that shit is no longer a threat. That's rule 101, or rule 1 of Garganacl 101. If you knock off Garg, this shit is half of what it was. Garganacl knocked off is not a threat. The only time it's too late to knock off is when Garg is already at like +3/+3 from Curse, and you're gonna lose anyway. But other than that, if you knock off Garg, the Garg is so fucked. You guys know that's how it usually goes. I mean, especially people who use Garg, they know if you let your Garg get knocked, you've really brutally fucked up. Unless you've cursed up to a point where you're already gonna kill 3 or 4, or just end the game immediately. But a knockoff here, we see that his Amoonguss had Cobra Cloak. Last game I did bring a Garg, so I understand the insurance he had with that, but here he doubles out because he's predicting Golden Go, which is fine. I mean, I was pretty sure he was going to double out, but the thing is, I have U-turn, so I worry about nothing regardless. I got a free 12% on this ace, which to me was like, fuck yeah. He's getting closer to dying to +2 Shadow Ball. Probably already does die at 88 to +2 Shadow Ball. And then also, my Moltres is able to chip him too. So I bring in Moltres here because I'm really not worried. He clicks Pyro Ball here to scout what kind of Moltres I am, and also probably because he knew U-turn was coming out. It does 21%. I'm fully Spadef because we need a Spexy Namorous counter. If this was a Fizdef Moltres, Spexy Namorous would come in Terra Fairy and just 2-hit KO/OHKO every single mon with Moonblast. So this is Spadef for that very reason. We U-turn out and we just go right back into Meow because it's like, okay, dude, if you want to stay in and Pyro Ball, I will U-turn again, get another 12%, put Ace at 68. Slowly but surely, he will die to knockoff soon. So for me, I'm like, great, you can stay in here and do whatever you want. I'll just continue U-turning. I don't need rocks to even get momentum on his team. U-turn alone is fucking annoying because Moltres walls 5. So here, I U-turn again. There's no reason for me to Flamethrower. Why would I throw away momentum when he doesn't even get anything from staying in? There's no reason for me to flame. Here again, we just keep U-turning. There's no reason to knock off. There's no reason to throw away even the smallest of lead, right? Because I'm not losing anything and he's not gaining anything. So even if it's like a standstill, I'm still up. I continue this U-turn spam. Like, I'm not going to knock off ever because Like I told you, the Garg's not staying in on Meow. That'll never happen. Doesn't make sense. He'll eventually get impatient. He'll eventually go into Cinderace, Enamorus, King Gambit on U-turn. It doesn't matter. When he does it, I'll be ready. So for me, it's just U-turn, U-turn, U-turn. See, here he thinks, let me stay in and get the Spore, but I'm never going to click Flamethrower. That'll never happen. So I U-turn, and I'm able to bring him my gold, because this is a much more difficult position for him than it is for me. Because even if he stays in predicting my U-turn, I have a whole gold to counter his shit. This is not like an easy position for him to be in. He goes into King Gambit here. I go right for the Make It Rain, because I'm not going to nasty plot there. There's no reason for me to do it. There's also no switching for him. His Amoonguss is at 72. If he wants to stay in and go for Foul Play or something, Make It Rain's going to do 50. That's not good for him. If he wants to go into Garg, that hasn't teared. It's going to get fucked up. Wants to go into Ace, I will gladly take the 30% on Ace. I just want to chip that thing down. But he brings in Gambit, which is perfect, because this was something that I was like, okay, what kind of Gambit is it? I was most scared of a potential Terra Dark Black Glasses Gambit, because that is the only Gambit that can beat Dozo. Terra Dark Gambit destroys Dozo. Well, when it's the last mon. I think it does like 55% with Katao or something. So I knew Terra Dark had a potential versus me, but I knew I could still beat it though, because between Moltres having Wisp, Dragonite, and still the fact that Dozo isn't O-code, I knew that I wasn't like an auto loss versus Gambit. I just knew that that specific set could be a threat. But looking at the team, honestly, I was thinking the Gambit was a flying Gambit. But anyways, I Make It Rain. It does 25%, which is great. I actually see no leftovers there, which is massive. Massive. So here I was thinking, okay, it's either Lum or Terra Dark. But the fact that it isn't leftovers means that this shit cannot reliably check any of my Pokemon. This cannot check my gold at all, because he's not able to get back any HP. If he had leftovers, he would have got 2 rounds of lefties here and been back at 88, but he's not. Here he doubles out into a Amoonguss, which is a fine play. I was pretty sure he was going to switch, but I'm not going to nasty plot and risk my gold and go for no reason, even if I know he's switching. Like, it was very obvious he wouldn't click a Tau Cleave, but regardless, there's no reason for me to make that stupid aggressive play, especially because I saw that he's not leftovers, so I already got good chip. He brings in a Amoonguss, heals it up. Again, I'm just going to U-turn all over this shit, because I'm not going to get spored for no reason. Why would I make that greedy play? That doesn't do anything for me. He brings in Ace here as I go for a Shadow Ball, which worked out well. I knew he would bring in Ace here, and even if he went back into Gambit, I'm not that worried, because we've already seen no leftovers. We do 42. I know this shit is so defensive. It's at 38, not 33, which means there's no Blaze activated just yet. I'm Fizdef, which means Pyro Ball I know does like 65 or something max. So here I was thinking, okay, unless he crits me, I'm just going to kill him with Shadow Ball. If I kill Cinderace, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get up max layers. I was also pretty damn sure, because it's been turn 18 and Tusk hasn't been out yet, that Tusk is not Rocks, and in fact it's Booster Energy Speed setup. Because if you haven't brought in Tusk yet on a team like this, well, it's very clear to me that you're not Stealth Rock Tusk. That's what I was thinking, at least. That what I thought was going to be like, I was pretty sure he's not Stealth Rock or Defensive Tusk at all. I was pretty sure it was a Booster Energy Win Con, because otherwise he would have figured out a way to bring it in by now. I know he's been stuck in the U-turn vortex, but regardless, you would have found a way to bring in Tusk by now and got some type of initiative. So I was pretty damn sure at this point it was Booster Speed. Anyways, like I said, I know the Ace is defensive. I know I live Pyro Ball, so I was like, fuck it, we can just kill that. I can recover up on so many mons on his team, so it's whatever. I stay in there as he switches out, probably expecting Moltres to come in or whatnot, but I mean, hey, shit works out for me, because I scare him out, and now he's probably thinking, what the fuck, why did he stay in? Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, he went to Garg, which is a good play by him, because he's able to get his Terra off here. I nasty plot because I know he's either switching out or he's going to Terra into a water type. There's no other play. You're not staying in on a potential Make It Rain. As he does just turn into a water type, I go for a Shadow Ball. I do 22%, because this is the most SpDef Garg ever seen in this entire galaxy. This got to be the 306 SpDef shit. Like, this cannot even be impish. I keep spamming Shadow Ball here, but it's not doing shit. I'm just kind of doing it to scout him out, see what he is. I see Salt Cure, Earthquake, Curse. Earthquake is a little annoying, because it means I'd have to Terra into a Fairy type if this thing gets +2. But still, you can see Earthquake just did 29 at +0. So even at +1, the shit doesn't 2-hit KO. Just got to keep my recovers with me. Either way, I know I can recover this turn 23, because he's at 56. He could die to, you know, Shadow Ball drop or whatever. Bring in Ting Lu here. Do not want to go hard Meow on Salt Cure at all, because that's the only way that I can kind of fuck around and get Meow 2 chipped. Here I'm thinking, fuck it, might as well get my rocks up. He has a +1 Garg. He already used his Terra. I came out on top in that entire situation. Like that was my come up. So I get these rocks up as he just goes for a Salt Cure, which is perfect for me. I'm now going to go into Meowscarada, expecting him to either Curse or Earthquake. Works out great. Here I go right for the U-turn. I know he's +1/+1, but I told you guys, Garg is never going to stay in on a potential knockoff unless it's sweep time. And this water guard can't sweep because I'm Meowscarada and Flower Trick goes through that, which was epic. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better Pokemon here. I was going to have a Valiant. You know what? I don't want no Valiant. Valiant versus a Moongus, Enamorus, guard, please. Mr. Meowvlook, on the other hand, just clicks knockoff, U-turn. Hit him with a move look. U-turn out, bring in Moltres yet again. Even if Flamethrower kills, there is simply no reason for us to click Flamethrower and give up initiative. I got Rocks up now. So you already know I'm about to turbo cook him, but just by U-turn, U-turn, your turn. Once I have Rocks up against the opponent already lost. Goes into a Moongus. I'm going to U-turn yet again. Like I said, there is no reason to knock off. Even if he wants to stay in, sure, and predict me, it doesn't matter. Rocks are up. I get more initiative. Recover's only 8 in this Gen 2. So I was very ready to take the game to turn 100 and take all 8 recovers from Garg too. I was very ready for that. I keep U-turning. Like I said, I'm getting the good chip. I'm getting exactly what I need. Garg's at 68. Again, though, we're just clicking U-turn, bro. There's nothing else. I'm not going to get the turn wrong ever. I will not give him 1 inch in this battle. So Gold comes in here. Again, it's another free Make It Rain. Nothing on his team can take it. Gambit comes in. Takes 26%. Solid. Switch out here, bring in my Ting-Lu as he just goes for the Iron Head, predicting my Lu. Now, because I have clicked fucking, U-turn 650 times in a row so far this game, I knew that he's probably in a frustrated position, especially because out of 33 turns, I don't think a single turn went his way. And I say that with all due respect, just nothing went his way so far this battle. Every exchange of this battle has been won by me. I don't think one exchange has been won by him so far. So that's why here I was pretty sure that, okay, he's either going to get impatient with King Gambit and SD, hoping for a spike, or just, it's going to be something impatient. I can already tell. Plus, Rocks are up, so me going for Earthquake is pretty risk-free. As he does just Iron Head, probably going for a flinch. I was like, okay, good. That basically, to me, was confirmation that the Tusk is booster. I mean, the Tusk still hasn't been out in 30 turns, so I'm pretty sure most people watching knew it was booster, but him just trying to chip and sacking Gambit made me think, okay, he's putting it all on Tusk. In comes Ace. I'm thinking, okay, he really is like, fuck, I just want to win with one of my last 3 setup sweepers. So Ace coming in for me was a gift. I was like, either he court changes, I kill him with Earthquake, or he wisps, and I still kill him with Earthquake because he's, you know, like there's no way for him to get out of this situation with a living Ace. So he does go for court change. He actually turns out to be Libero, but bro dies to Earthquake, so that's cool. Libero defensive is weird. They're supposed to be Blaze, but maybe he wants to turn normal type for Shadow Ball. That could have been their plan. Anyways, Enamorus comes in. I'm almost full Spit F. I'm like 240 Spit F EVs Impish instead of Careful. Either way, Enamorus Turtle coming in basically means it's usually going to be Draining Kiss. I can take Moonblast either way. I knew this wasn't some specs shit because we already showed leftovers. Look how much Draining Kiss does. This shit does 19. I told you, this isn't a good Pokemon. Like, unless you run it on Tailwind with Moonblast. And then finally in comes the Tusk, which he has been saving for the entire battle. Like, we've seen already, so we knew that this was booster. I'm gonna switch into Dozo. I don't feel like sacking my Lu for no reason. This isn't a preservation thing. It's a don't sack mons for no reason. This is going to be my immediate switch into Garg regardless. His removal is dead. I'm pretty damn sure this Tusk is not Rapid Spin. It's probably Bulk Up 3 with Head Smash or some shit for my Moltres. Either way, I know it's probably just Bulk Up 3, not Spin, if you already have a speed boosting booster energy. So anyways, he EQs into my Dozo. This shit just does jack shit. I'm going to double into my Lu here because I was pretty fucking sure that he's either just going to knock off if he has it, which I don't think he does because he would have knocked off there. But I was pretty sure he's either just going to switch out into like a Moongus or Garg or... So I just knew he was going to switch really. Like he doesn't really have a play. As he does go into Garg, that's really perfect for me because I can finally get these rocks up myself to give us, you know, a lot easier treatment versus Enamorus and a Moongus. Those shits are really annoying. Everything's weak to spikes besides Enamorus, and Enamorus gets fucked up by rocks. This is a great trade for me. Finally able to get up my second spike. We have to be a little patient with it, but nothing really crazy. Yep, he goes for Curse here. I Whirlwind because I don't need my Lu at this point, and he can't kill me with Earthquake, so Whirlwind is 100% the best play in case he does click Curse. As he does go into a Moongus. Now, here, I switch out my Lu, even though it dies to Hazards. And everybody watching the game in the lobby was like, oh, he's preserving the 6-0. No, I literally clicked Golden Go before my brain could even process the idea of 6-0ing. I just switched because there's no reason to sack him on that could be a sack fodder to something else. Agency 101. Anyways, in comes Garganical. A nasty plot up. And then he's too low. So, basically, I hit it again. As he recovers up. And then I hit it one more time. You know what I'm saying? As he goes for the Earthquake, but doesn't do anything. And I Shadow Ball here. It does 44, which is fucking 0. But I get the Spit F drop, which is cool. But this shit didn't matter because I just made it rain afterwards and killed him anyways. He switches out into a Namorous, dies to the next Shadow Ball, brings in his Tusk, and I kept Terastallized the whole battle, literally for this exact moment. Turn Fairy type, take negative damage from EQ, knock him out, and then that's going to be that. He's going to forfeit because nothing can take this. I would say that my matchup was pretty fucking good in this battle. This was really just a don't be stupid, and I knew I was going to win. I mean, I could have probably thrown out a Pokemon or two, but I just kept fucking clicking U-turn the whole game as to not lose any momentum. Yeah, this is an amazing team. So shout out to CTC. I mean, I played the game pretty well. I think I got like literally every turn right and every U-turn turn right. So hey, pretty textbook, but remember, take some notes, folks. So I end the tournament 3-1. I feel like I for sure should have been 4-0 because of that one fucking Excalibur robbery game, but I can't complain. Now we're solidly out of the tournament. This was just so that we don't have to play qualifiers next year, because next year, if I lost this and then my other teammate lost Star, because then he would have played, but we won 2-0 because I won. But if I lost and he lost, then next year for World Cup, we would have had to play in a qualifier bracket to even participate in the tour, which would have been extremely shameful. Extremely shameful. But fortunately, United States, we lived. We lived. I'm the only one to get the job done. Anyways, it was a fun time. I enjoyed playing all these Gen 9 OU tournament games. I don't know if I'll play Smogon Champion League, but either way, shaboing. Have a good one.